Welcome to another episode of It's Just Alex P. And on this episode, we're talking not so current events. And that topic is Ahmaud Arbery. So, it's been a few weeks since the three men were found guilty for killing him, for murdering Ahmaud Arbery. So I figured this would be the right time to talk about it because I had some time to read up on it, I had some time to actually watch the case and watch the prosecutor go to work, the defendants lawyers go to work. I figured it'd be the right time to now do a not so current events on the horrible situation that happened with Ahmaud Arbery. So if it's your first time joining us on not so current events on It's Just Alex P, we do it in a couple ways, in a very simple way. First, we talk about what happened and what the outcome, right? We talk about what one side thinks versus what the other side thinks, right? And then after that, we go into what my thoughts are on the whole situation. So, first part, let's talk about the whole history. So how do we start this all off, right? So, how did this get started? So, Ahmaud Arbery was out for a run, and while he was out for a run, his family said he is someone that always goes out for a run because he likes to stay in shape, right? And while he was running, he saw a construction site. He stopped at a construction site, and he stopped there for a little bit. Then he kept on running. My man by the name of Gregory McMichael. Let me make sure that's his name. Yes, Gregory McMichael saw him running. And Gregory McMichael, I guess, he lives in the neighborhood. It's in Brunswick County, I think it was. Brunswick County and or Glenn County or something like that. And, basically it's in a subdivision. So Gregory McMichael sees him running, and he had, I guess there had been some break-ins in the construction site that Arbery had stopped at. So Gregory McMichael thought he was, I guess, assumed that he had taken something. So he called his son. His son's name is Travis McMichael. And Travis or Gregory, one of them grabbed a gun and said, "We're gonna get this guy because we believe that he's one of the persons that have been, I guess, robbing this house, right? Overnight, or whatever the case is. But we have now finally caught him." But anyway, so they chase him. They jump in their pickup truck and they chase him. And they see him running, so they chase him, right? And they basically pull up beside him and say, hey, we want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. And Arbery's like, what? And of course, that's how I would be. I would start running quicker because some random people just pull up beside of me, and now you're telling me that you want to stop and talk to me? All right. I'm going off case. But anyway, they pulled up beside him and they're like, hey, we want to stop. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. Arbery proceeds to run, and so they corner him, right? And then a third person that sees everything happening, his name is William Bryan, sees what's happening. So he knows Gregory McMichael and he knows Travis McMichael. So he jumps in on the chase. He jumps in his car, and now he's trying to help box Arbery, because they feel like, well, I guess, he's trying to help out his neighbor, and they feel like they finally caught the person that has been robbing the house. So they box him in, and I think it's either Travis. I think Travis, he's the one that steps out with a shotgun. So Arbery goes and tries to fight him to pull away the gun. Travis pulls the trigger, shoots him again, and I guess shoots him a third time, and Arbery then tries to run and then collapses and dies. And he just collapses and dies. And then from there, the police show up, and something that you may not know, or you probably read it, is that Gregory McMichael had worked for the police officers, worked in the police office for years, so everybody knew who he was. So for a while, this case wasn't really looked at until, the Arbery family fought really hard, and then the footage came up, and then there was a huge uproar about why is there these guys not being picked up? Why has nothing happened to them? Because they chased him. But anyway, I digress. So after a year or so, they were finally indicted, and they were all brought up on different charges. I think there were 9 charges per person. Brought up on charges for hate crime and kidnapping. And of course, this had taken a while because because Gregory McMichael had worked with the office before, or the DA's office, and he got off for a while. And we're gonna probably talk about her once her case is figured out. Her name is Jackie, something or another. And so we finally get to the case. When we get to the case now, so on one side we have the prosecutors. The prosecutors are saying that you guys, the three suspects, you, Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, William Bryan, whatever your name is, you basically nudged on, you incited what happened, right? If you just let him run, or just call the cops and let the cops pick him up, or whatever the case is, you went after him, you cornered him. And of course, when you're being cornered, what happens, right? And then the people that are defending him, right? Defending that are and now the people that are saying that what they did was in self-defense are saying, well, Arbery went after the gun. They were carrying out a citizen's arrest, and they have footage of him going into the house and taking something. So they were just following out their duty as citizens, and they were trying to bring justice, right? So after everything came out, the three gentlemen were found guilty, right? Guilty of all charges. I think it was 9 charges each. All right, 9 charges each. And from watching it, it was very simple that what I saw the prosecutor do, man, she was great. The prosecutor was great. She was great. But it was very simple that this whole incident, you went out after the gentleman. He was running, and you incited everything. You brought the gun. You brought the gun out. You tried to trap him, right? And of course, just think about you being in that situation. 3 random people coming after you in your cars and trying to trap you. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have to fight your way out. So what are my thoughts on the situation? I think justice was served. Even if you're out there and you see that someone has committed a crime, you're not Spider-Man, you're not Batman, you're not, vigilante justice is just not what it is, right? You call the cops and you let the cops figure it out. Maybe you follow them and you find out where they go, and then you say, hey, this is what I saw. And then you let the cops pick them up. If Arbery had came and broke into their house and you deal justice that way, it's a different story. But the man was out for a run. Whether or not he stopped in your construction site, and whether or not he took something, if he did take something or not take something, it's not your job. You call the cops and you let the cops know what happened. You follow the cops, you follow him, and you give him the address. You say, hey, this is what I saw, this is what I saw, and you let the cops deal with it. Right? You're not out here. You're not vigilante justice. No, right? So I think that they got what they deserved. And to basically think about it from Arbery's standpoint. These 3 random dudes just pulled up on you. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. They cornered you and they have a gun. You're fighting for your life. That's what he's thinking. And now for the defendants to say that Arbery, he deserved what he got or whatever the case is, come on, man. Really? So I think justice was served. Those 3 suspects would be going away for life. Vigilante justice, no. And even if this was the other way, if it was a white man running and 3 black men went up and did that, they should go to jail. If this happens this way, I don't think it has to do anything. Maybe the situation happened because of color, but I think justice is being served, right? It's being served. You cornered this man, and he tried to defend himself. If you felt like he did something wrong, call the cops. Follow from way behind, see where he goes, and then tell the cops, tell that situation, and let the cops handle it. That's their job, and then they can investigate and figure it out. So that's my thoughts on the Ahmaud Arbery situation, and it's sad because it's still 4 lives that are gone now, right? It's sad situation. Alright, we'll see you next time on It's Just Alex P, Not So Current Events.